What's up, guys? Thanks for joining the channel. In this video, I'm comparing the Google Pixel 5a 5G with the Google Pixel 5. The 5a is pretty much a new and improved version of the Pixel 5 in the A lineup and kind of takes over until the Pixel 6 comes in. But let's go ahead and see how these phones compare and contrast. What's better, what's worse? Let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, the Pixel 5a 5G price is only $450. Compare that to the Pixel 5's launch price when it was around $700. So a big difference here. The thing that makes these really similar too is that both of these phones have 5G, something very important nowadays. It's growing and growing and growing. There's really no excuse not to have a 5G phone though, but the Pixel 5a, the A line finally has 5G, so that competes very nicely with the Pixel 5. The overall weight of the 5a is 6.4 ounces. The Pixel 5 is more lightweight at 5.33 ounces. For the build quality, these are very similar. You have an aluminum frame, aluminum back on the Pixel 5a, aluminum back, aluminum frame on the Pixel 5. To me, it's not a big difference of the build quality on these. I mean, they're the same, but for me, I slap a case on any phone anyways, expensive or cheap, and that prevents dings and scratches and all that stuff. It protects them. Very practical, and I say, you know, put a tempered screen protector on there as well for good measure. Both of these phones also have dust and water resistance, around 1 meter for 30 minutes on the Pixel 5a, 1.5 meters for 30 minutes on the Pixel 5. So that's something that has really come down in price, is IP dust and water resistance. That's usually reserved for more expensive devices. So in one case, you're getting that protection for $450 as opposed to $700. And both of these have an eSIM. That's good if you want two different services at the same time, two different phone numbers, or if you're traveling, you could pop in service without actually needing to install a SIM card. And that's available on pretty much just on Pixels and iPhones and higher end Samsung. So that compares very good right there. Both of these have 5G, both of these have dust and water resistance, and both of these have a eSIM, except price has gone way down. You got $450 for one, $700 for the other. Let's move on. As for the screen, the Pixel 5a actually is a bigger screen at 6.3 inches versus a 6-inch on the Pixel 5. One difference here is that the 5a has 60 hertz display refresh rate versus the 90 hertz refresh rate on the Pixel 5. So to me, it's not a big difference, especially for $250. It's not worth that extra 30 hertz of refresh rate. And it's kind of disappointing because the 90 hertz is also available on $200 devices. So for this to be $700, not a big deal to get the 60 hertz on the 5a. Both of these have similar screen to body ratios, around 85%. The resolution is the same. You got 1080p display, so it hasn't really improved there. It stayed the same. It's still a good screen. You got over 400 ppi in both of these devices, which makes it a very good screen, but one's 450, the other one is 700. They also both have always on display, which is good if you want to interact with your device, check your notifications, look at the messages as stuff is coming in and it's laying on the desk. You don't have to physically pick up the device to check these things. So that's good on both of these phones. If you're noticing a trend here, the Pixel 5 is just basically a more bloated, expensive device. And the Pixel 5a is basically just a lower priced version that still has a lot of the same stuff on the Pixel 5. Moving on. For the software, both of these have Android 11, but they will get several updates in the future. Sorry about that. Getting choked up with that Android OS. And both of these have this exact same software. You won't find any differences. They will get the updates on day one. Pixel 5a overall will get 3 years of updates. Same thing with the Pixel 5. So you got several years of life out of these. Here's a kicker here. The chipset. You're going to get the 765G processor on both of these devices. So you got the same chipset. And that's very important. So this will be the same snappy type of device as the Pixel 5 on the 5a. And basically, you're going to be running the same apps like no problem. All your basic everyday tasks are going to run perfectly fine. It's not the snappiest processor out there, but it will get the job done and keep everyone happy. And you can do your regular calling, you can do your texting, you could do your maps, your light gaming such as Grand Theft Auto and Dead Trigger, for example. Those are my favorites right there. You could do your music, your video, your social media, your podcasting, listening to podcasts, maps, web browsing, calling, texting, video chat, email, hotspotting, Bluetooth, all that good stuff, since they have the same really snappy processor. For storage, very important, memory and storage. Both of these phones are rocking 128 gigs. That's a pretty good amount of storage. I don't see anybody really running out of storage, especially since these devices have 5G. We're going to be streaming everything, no buffering. You can watch it in 4K, all that good stuff. We've gone past the days of transferring music to phones. Now, we still could do that, you know, with Spotify and YouTube and Netflix, where we could download the media to the phone, but we could actually delete it later once we're done with it. We don't have to wait till we get home to, you know, connect to the computer or whatever the case is. It's just way easier to manage streaming media and keep it as an offline mode. So 128 gigs is more than enough. There's no storage on these devices, no extra storage like micro SD card slot, but 128 gigs will keep it happy. But for the same amount of storage, one's $450, the other one is $700. Now for the camera, both of these phones are rocking good cameras. You got the same setup, two cameras on the back, 12 megapixel shooter main camera, 16 megapixel ultra wide, shooting at 4K. Now both of these phones are Pixels, and they will both have an awesome camera. These are flagship level cameras, but you get it now in a $450 device. These are great in low light situations. These rival or even surpass some flagships that cost $1,000. And that's a good thing, because this is the iPhone of cameras for the Android world. These compare very, very well. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck in the camera department. So big props to the Pixel 5a 5G for having and robbing the camera technology of the Pixel 5. Next is the selfie camera. Similar setup as well. 8 megapixel shooter in the front, shooting at 1080p. You can take great pictures and great selfie videos with the selfie camera. Difference here with the headphone jack. The Pixel 5a has it, while the Pixel 5 does not. Not a big deal to me, because I've moved on. It's all about wireless and Bluetooth. I haven't had a situation where I needed the headphone jack. But if you're one of the people that still rock physical headphones with the connection, or you connect it to your car to listen to some tunes, you know, big plus for you. It's in here, and you're paying less for it than you had on the Pixel 5. Both of these do have stereo speakers, so that's very nice. Bluetooth wise, they both have Bluetooth 5.0, and that will happily connect you to your wireless speakers, your smartwatches, or your wireless smart band and headphones and all that good stuff. No problem there. Both phones also have NFC, and that's mostly reserved for payment services such as Google Pay. For the charging port, you have USB Type-C, pretty standard stuff. And now for unlocking and security, both of these use the reliable rear-mounted fingerprint reader. These work great. I have no problem with these. Newer, more expensive phones have the in-display fingerprint reader, but I really don't trust them. These are more reliable ways to open up your device, and they don't get in the way because they're on the back. Last but not least is the battery, and finally the Pixel phones are starting to have really great battery life. Especially the A line. You got a 4,680 milliamp battery on the Pixel 5a versus the 4,000 milliamp battery on the Pixel 5. So it's easy to say that the Pixel 5 will get you easily 2 days of battery life. Especially since it has 5G, you're going to be well protected using your phone all day and into the next with no problem. That's always been the Achilles heel of a Pixel. And, you know, the closer we get to 5,000 milliamp batteries on the Pixel, the better. Both of these do have fast charging, but it's only at 18 watts. And this is the last model Pixel to have the fast charger in the box. So that's it's worth its weight in gold right there, especially if you give this phone or gift it to somebody. They don't have to go out and find a fast charger to enjoy one of the best features of a phone For example, like fast charging, it makes your life just way easier. So guys, we went through the specs. You pretty much know, you're educated now about what are the differences between the Pixel 5a and the Pixel 5. And it's clear to say that the Pixel 5a 5G is just way better value. It offers pretty much the same type of stuff on the Pixel 5, but at a cheaper, more affordable price. And it just has a bigger battery. I mean, there's a lot to like about the Pixel 5. It is probably the best phone, the best Android phone launched. And going forward, it is a flagship level phone for only $450. There's no compromises on the phone. The Pixel 5 had a bloated price of $700, but it didn't act like a flagship. At $450, it's not trying to front. It has $450 phone, and it gives you everything and then some. It just improved everything about the Pixel 5. It took away that little battery and just added just so much stuff. And even the little headphone jack makes a difference. Same software, same processor. There's no excuse not to get the Pixel 5a if you're looking for your next phone. The one downside though is that even though it's $450, it's not available everywhere. It's only available in the US and in Japan. And you're not gonna budge from that $450 price if you buy the phone, you know, just by itself. It's not on prepaid. A phone like this, if it were on prepaid like Metro or Boost or Cricket here in the US, I could definitely see it being sold for $0 with a port in or $50 with a port in. So that's probably my only gripe, is that it's not available everywhere and there's no real discounts. But for $450, I would upgrade every year and just trade it in. It's an awesome device. There's no reason to get the Pixel 5 now, and that's probably why it's discontinued. So thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.